From the Home Slice News Center, this is the Daily Slice for Monday, March 6, 2023. I'm D. Ray Knight. This is what's going on. Governor Noem has vetoed a proposal that would have allowed cities to hike taxes on temporary lodging to help fund events and attractions to draw tourists. Proponents argue the hike would benefit such things as sports and livestock shows, and that out-of-state tourists would shoulder most of the costs. But Noem and other opponents said the potential hikes could also harm the state's rural residents who travel to cities for doctor appointments, education, or recreation. Republican Senator Tim Reed, who sponsored the bill, said hotels and campgrounds support it. Apartment managers are being asked to help make their properties safer. Amy Rose has the story.
Mayor Steve Allender and Police Chief Don Hedrick are pleading with the management teams of what's called the Big Three apartment complexes in North Rapid to come up with additional solutions to what some are calling the ongoing crime epidemic in the community. According to letters sent by Allender, he's encouraging the management companies of Knollwood Townhouses, Maplewood Townhouses, and Knollwood Heights to reach out more often to the city to step up security efforts for the properties. Both Knollwood Heights management and Maplewood management responded to the mayor, saying they're open to continuing discussions about how they can work together.
A Rapid City woman convicted of first-degree manslaughter in December was sentenced Friday to 40 years in prison with 20 years suspended. Ashley Peltier was found guilty following a trial in December for the June 2021 stabbing death of James Rice. The incident happened at the Surfwood Drive apartments. Peltier was initially charged with first-degree murder, which would have resulted in a mandatory life sentence without parole upon conviction. If Peltier makes parole, she'll have strict supervision. In national and international news, a $1.6 billion lawsuit against Fox News for its coverage of false claims surrounding the 2020 presidential election isn't the only thing putting pressure on the standard for U.S. libel law. Two politicians popular with Fox's audience, former President Donald Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, have advocated for the Supreme Court to revisit the libel standard that has protected media organizations for more than half a century. Current libel law requires plaintiffs to prove that a news organization acted with reckless disregard for the truth. Fox is using that standard to defend its actions that promoted false claims of voter fraud. President Biden's bid for re-election is facing opposition from his own party. Amy Rose has the details.
Democrats across New Hampshire are upset with President Joe Biden for undermining their state's status as home to the first-in-the-nation presidential primary. But their concerns about Biden run much deeper, in line with a majority of Democratic voters nationwide who oppose the 80-year-old president's plans to launch his re-election campaign. Many worry about his age. Others are upset about the messy withdrawal from Afghanistan. And the party's more progressive wing has never been enthusiastic about Biden. The resistance from the Democratic Party's rank and file stands in sharp contrast with the party establishment of governors, senators, and congressional representatives who are virtually unanimous in supporting Biden's re-election.
Now the latest on the war in Ukraine. Ukrainian authorities have vowed to keep holding Bakhmut even as Russian forces continue to encroach on the devastated eastern Ukrainian city that they have sought to capture for 6 months at the cost of thousands of lives. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's office said that he chaired Monday's meeting with military officials, during which the country's top military leaders spoke in favor of continuing to defend Bakhmut and further strengthening Ukrainian positions there. Intense Russian shelling targeted the Donetsk region city and nearby villages on Monday, as Moscow deployed more resources there in an apparent bid to finish off Bakhmut's resistance. Local officials say civilians are fleeing the region. Your weather forecast from the Home Slice Weather Center. Snow today and a high of 26. More snow tonight with a low of 17. Expect accumulations of at least 3 inches. And that was your Daily Slice for Monday, March 6, 2023. The Daily Slice is a production of Home Slice Media Group, hosted by D. Ray Knight with Amy Rose. Executive producer Mark Houston. Engineered by Chris Jacquez. I'm D. Ray Knight. Have a great day.